everyone, what's up and welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name's Yasmin. I'm 19, I have 2 baby girls, and I live in Hawaii. If you guys can kind of tell, I'm like really sick. You might be able to just tell by my voice, but I've been like really stuffed up. I don't think it's coronavirus or anything. We had to get tested before we came back to the island a few weeks ago, and we were all negative, but we've all been like, me, Logan, and the kids have all been like kind of sick, just like a cold. We're just kind of trying to stay rested and healthy and drink a lot of water and whatever we can do. So yeah, I'm feeling kind of sick right now, and you can probably hear it in my voice, but I was planning to film this video today and I feel well enough to film it, so I decided I'm gonna sit down and do it. Plus, it's been forever since I filmed like a sit down. I feel like I did like a Q&A when we first got back about like the engagement, but like I feel like it's been a while since I just did like a sit down for you guys. So yeah, I wanted to come on here and do that. Before we get into this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out my Instagram in the description below. Comments are usually disabled on my channel, so I always have a section for comments on my stories. You guys can go and check that out if you guys have any comments or questions or anything. So yeah, let's get into the video. Do just what you want. You're the one I trust. So for those of you guys who've been following for a while, you probably know that Logan is not Layla's biological dad. Logan is my fiance. We just got engaged like a little over a month ago. We've been together for almost 2 years now. Oh my god, our 2 years is coming up in like a week. As you guys know, we do have a baby of our own, baby Anna. I do get a lot of like questions about that and about just like the dynamic and how I plan on like talking to Layla about it, and like Layla's biological dad, and like questions about that and his involvement and stuff. There has been some like stuff going around, not really, but anyway, so pretty much I just want to get on here and talk about it and kind of like update on that, because it's something that I like to be open about and talk about. I just feel like it's something that's important to like be open about the dynamic. Because, you know, I think there's a lot of families with similar dynamics, especially young moms. But I do try to do everything that I can to make sure that I, like, respect his privacy. So, yeah. So, pretty much, for some backstory, Layla's dad and I were together when I was, like, 16 for, like, a few months, and I ended up getting pregnant. There's, like, whole story time videos more in depth on this stuff on my channel, so you can go watch those if you're interested. But basically, we weren't together my whole pregnancy, and then after Layla was born, he saw her, I want to say 3 times for, like, maybe an hour, like, from when she was born till she was, like, 4 months old. He saw her, like, 2 or 3 times. And then once Logan got involved, he never really came back to see her again. His grandmother stays in touch with us, and she's always, like, she's super sweet, always sends gifts for Layla, has always been super supportive, and yeah, so I do talk to her, and she has seen Layla more often. And as far as Layla's dad goes, things have just always been like on and off with him. Like sometimes I'll hear from him, sometimes I don't. He was kind of like gone for a while, and then we started hearing from him again. We even started hearing, like, would hear from him from other people while he was gone, about him not really liking the idea of Logan adopting Layla and stuff like that. But when it comes down to it, he just wasn't ready to take on being a dad. I honestly feel like I don't even know him. It was so long ago, and I was a completely different person when I was with him, and our relationship was super like high school. So I honestly feel like I don't even know him, which is weird, but yeah. Anyways, when it comes down to it, he just wasn't ready, and I don't have any like hard feelings or anything, and hopefully he doesn't either. Pretty much what happened recently is we went back to Delaware for the first time since we have moved to Hawaii, and we went for Logan's birthday. We got engaged, and we ended up staying a lot longer than planned for other reasons, which again, I'll probably also get more into that later on if you guys want to hear about that, because it's also like kind of crazy. But we were back in Delaware, which is where like Logan grew up and where I lived and went to high school and where Layla was born. While we were there, I guess Layla's dad saw that we were home. I hadn't really spoken to him much recently at all, but he saw that we were there and asked to see her, which kind of like took me by surprise because she's 2 and he's like only seen, last time we saw her she was like 4 months old, I think. So I was kind of taken by surprise when he texted me and asked if he could come see her. I didn't answer right away because I didn't really know what to say and like what like Logan would be comfortable with, and like how to even answer that. So he ended up texting again. I decided there'd be no harm in him coming to see her for a little bit if we were all there, and you know, it was just for a short amount of time. I wanted to make sure I made the right decision because, like, is it going to be confusing for her, for him to come, and, like, you know, like, you never know, like, what she's going to think or what he's going to say or what, you know. I wanted to make the right decision for everyone and for our family. But I ended up deciding to, you know, like, be cool with him coming and just be, like, civil about it. I just didn't think that there would be any harm in it when it came down to it. So basically I answered and I was just like, yeah, that's fine, like, you can come see her. And then I guess, like, a few days later, he asked if he could bring his girlfriend with. And I immediately was, like, uncomfortable with that because, I don't know why, just, like, my first thought was, like, oh my gosh, like, either, like, I could just imagine, like, girl coming in and, like, saying weird things like, oh, like, I'm your stepmom or something. Like, I don't know, that was just, like, my first thought, and that scared me. Who knows, she could be a really nice girl, I don't know. I also just wasn't comfortable with it because I just, like, don't know her, and then also my fear was that, like, is he just coming to see her to, like, show her off to, like, his new girlfriend. So then I just started questioning him coming at all, and it just made me sad, honestly, and uncomfortable. So I told him no. I was like, sorry, like, I'm not comfortable with that, I don't know her. And he was like, okay, fine. And then the day that he was supposed to come, he asked again. He was really persistent about it. He was like, she came super far to come see Laela, and, like, I just didn't know. Like, I'm always, like, still to this day, like, I don't stress about it or anything, but I always just wonder, like, did I make the right decision? Was I being too hard? Like, was I being too harsh by saying, like, no? It's, like, it's always hard to decide what the right decision is when it comes to dealing with, you know, like, co-parenting, even though I wouldn't really call that co-parenting, but I don't know. I have so many friends that are in, you know, like, situations with co-parenting, and, like, I'm really grateful that mine is pretty easy. Like, Logan and I are obviously, like, mom and dad, and then, like, he came and saw Laela once, and, like, that's fine. Just thinking about the future, and, like, we've talked about this before, is hard for both Logan and I because, like, Logan has done so much and invested so much into, like, being a dad to Laela, and he loves her like she's his own, and I would hate for, like, that to be taken away from him. Not taken away from him, but I'd hate for my kids to have to go through the confusion of, like, someone else coming into the picture one day. As of right now, like, I'm not worried about it, and it seems like what we have going on is, like, a good civil way of, like minor visitation without the hecticness and, like, mediation and stuff, and, like, yeah, so I just hope that it can stay that way. I just always hope for the best for Laela's dad and his family. It would be cool if one day there could be, like, a good way for her to know him. Not that it would make any difference for her because she has Logan, but, like, I always, you know, I grew up without a dad, and I also didn't have any type of father figure, really, but I did still always, like, wonder, like, who my real dad was, and then I met him when I was older, but it was, like, kind of, I don't want to say disappointing, but it was kind of disappointing because after, like, you know, I thought it was going to be this big thing, but then after I met him, I kind of realized, like, we don't have anything to build a relationship off of. Like, I haven't known him my whole life, and it's kind of too late to, like, build a father-daughter bond kind of relationship, because I'm already at, like, a completely different point in my life. Like, I already have my own family, my own kids, and, like, I don't know, if I was a lot younger, it'd probably be different. But when he was there, he did not want to talk to Logan. Like, he would not speak to Logan, which was weird, and it's just kind of hard because he's never been around Laela ever, so he doesn't really know, like, quite how to interact with her, which is understandable. And then when he left, he was, like, sad to leave her, which is just, like, I just feel sad about it. Like, I'm not, like, always just, like, sad about it, but, like, when I think about it, it's, like, sad, kind of, because, like, I'm sad for him. So, yeah, when it comes down to it, I wanted to make this video because, for any other, like, young parents out there, like, especially young dads, like, don't miss out on your kid's life. Step up when you need to step up. And even for the dads, like, the young dads who do choose to be involved, but only when they want to, like, don't make things worse for your kid, you know? Don't make things more confusing. Girl always ends up, like, having to sacrifice her whole life because, you know, you have to carry the baby and then give birth, and then, like, maternal instinct is just different and, like, comes more naturally. And then for young dads, I think it's a lot harder, which is why, like, Logan, like, I still, like, don't understand, like, to this day how he was sent to me. But like, he's just like such a natural dad, and I just feel really blessed to have him. And as far as Logan and as wedding goes, I feel like our wedding is super important for Logan and Layla's relationship as well. Like, I'm not gonna make any actual difference, but when it comes to like the symbolism of it for us, it's also super important for like Logan and Layla, which is why Layla's involvement in the wedding is gonna be kind of different than I was planning, and I'm excited to talk about that as we get closer. I've posted about that before, but I'm excited. He's kind of making the same promise to her as he is to me. I would love for him to be able to adopt Layla at that point as well. It just makes sense, like he's been the one raising her forever, and if something were to happen to me, I would want him to be the one raising Layla. So we're hoping for him to be able to adopt her by the time we get married, and then she can also change her last name as well. So that's all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to check out my Instagram below for comments, and don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.